Hello, my name is James. I'm with Turf Distributors. Today we're going to show you how to hand cut a roll from a forklift the most easiest and convenient way. Step one, what you want to make sure is you want to have some safety gloves on. After that, what we want to do is we want to have a sharp utility knife. And what we want to do is we just want to cut nice and easy, cut the wrap off. Okay, so before you remove the whole wrap off the turf, you want to make sure that we have the matching tags. There's usually one in the front and there's usually one in the back. We want to take these off and we want to make sure, because we got to make sure when we cut this roll and we have the other existing roll, the remaining roll, we're going to make sure that we put these on both of those with the amount that's left on the old roll and the amount that's on the new roll, but also we got to make sure they have matching die lots. So we know where these rolls came from. If a customer comes, they need more turf. Now we know they're on both rolls. We know where these rolls came from. What we want to do is we want to have the turf. It's going to be about knee height. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut a piece of 15 by 15, 225 square feet. So we want to make sure there's no debris on the bottom, since we're going to do this face down with the turf. Once we do that, I'm going to show you how to measure and how to cut it. And when we are doing this, you want to roll it out very slow so it does not spin too fast. So we're going to try to get the right amount, around 15. You want to have a long measuring tape. What we're going to do, since we already know the turf is 15 feet wide, we are going to do 15 feet long. So we're going to go right here, and we're going to put it close right here. We're going to give a little bit extra. Okay. We're going to go about 15.2, and we're going to put a slit. Okay. Okay. And we're going to do 15.2 and put a slit. Now, once we have the measurement, what we're going to do is we're going to lower the forklift, just barely touching the ground so it doesn't move anymore, while we chalk line it and we cut it. Now that the turf is on the ground, now what we're going to do is we're going to chalk line it. So we already have the two slits where we measured it. It's going to be a 15 by 15. Now we're going to chalk line it. So now that we have the chalk line, everything's measured. Now remember, you always want to cut the turf from the bottom, never the top. So now we're going to go and we're going to cut straight on the chalk line where we have the measurement. Okay, now we're checking. Perfect, everything's perfect on it. You always want to make sure that you check both sides and make sure the cuts are even on each side. Perfect. So now what we're going to do is we're going to wrap up the remainder roll. We already have it. It's 1275. What we did is we made two tags with the matching die lots and everything. So depending if it's outside or indoors, I like to shrink wrap one in the middle with shrink wrap in case it gets wet. It's on there, and also zip tie one on the outside. It's always good to have two options. Okay, before we pull the forklift up and we shrink wrap it with the tags, what we want to do is we want to put one tag in the front right up here. The reason why we want to put the tag up front towards the forklift is because when you go and you put it down somewhere, it's already there and the tag is facing you when you're looking at it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to lift the roll. And we're gonna keep going up to about right here, right above your hip. Okay. What we're gonna do is we're gonna roll this back. We're gonna leave it on the forklift and turn it Perfect. Okay, now when you are shrink wrapping the existing roll, what you want to do is you want to start on this side because you want it to be snug. If you go the opposite way, it's going to bend. It's going to be really flimsy. So what you want to do is you want to start shrink wrapping where this is going downward. As you can see, now they're getting a tight roll. And now we already have a tag in front. So now what we're going to do is we are going to put the other tag right in here in case it gets wet. So also on the ends of the roll, we want to go around about 3 or 4 times to make sure it's tight on the outside and a couple more times in the middle. And as you can see, we have a very tight roll now where it's not going to really move. Okay, now that the roll, it's shrink wrapped, it's tagged, the remainder roll, now we're going to go put it back in its spot before we go on to the next step to our cut roll. Okay, so for the next step, what we want to do is we always got to make sure we're going to roll this into the turf core. We have to make sure the blades are going towards the direction. So what we're going to do is we're going to flip this to the other side now. So they're going to go back, and then they're going to go forward. So we can make sure the blades are in the right direction when we're rolling it in the core. Okay, now the next step is we're gonna roll this cut piece into the turf core. Now when you do this, you want to make sure that the blades are face down, looking towards you the way you roll it. And here's an example of the way you don't want to roll it in the core. As you can see, we have the blades this way, and as you start to roll it, the blades are going to start hitting this and going into the blades. We don't want that. We want a steady flow on the other end. So now, right now, we're going to roll it with the blades facing us. So what we want to do, we want to make sure we have a good tight roll, make sure the sides are even. We're going to try to tuck it the best we can. So as you're rolling this, and if sometimes it's going off to the left or the right, the person on the left or right side, what they'll do is they'll put pressure on it as we roll so it doesn't keep rolling outside. So I don't need to put any more right here. They'll put a little bit more pressure on here, on their side. Perfect. Okay, once the turf is rolled, a good rule is what we're gonna do is we're gonna zip tie the ends so it doesn't really come undone before we put the forklift back in. And also, the cut side here, we want to be on this side. So when it lifts, it's not on this side because then it's gonna start to unroll when you put it on the forklift. We're gonna get the forklift, we're gonna lift it up knee high or waist high, and then we're gonna shrink wrap it with the 2 tags. Okay, now I have the tags ready. The forklift's gonna come, it's gonna pick it up. Okay. What we wanna do is we wanna get it up to about waist high, about right there, and we're good. Now what we can do is we will zip tie the tag on the front for easy access for when we store it. And this one is going to go in the middle when we shrink wrap it. We're going to have a person right here holding this. As you can see, we already zip tied it, so it's not going to really go anywhere. We have the tag on the front part. We're going to hold this in place. And now we're going to shrink wrap the whole thing and then put this one in the middle, the other tag. Now we got this shrink wrapped. We have the tag with the square footage, the die lot. We have another tag in the middle of the product and square footage and the die lot. Now it's ready for storage, or it's ready for our customer to go out on delivery. For a reference, please use our turf hand cutting guide. At Turf Distributors, we're always here for you.